Well, very warm welcome back, everybody. We are ready to go here. Bottom of the draw in the last 64. Stevie Dempsey, number 2 seed, gets us underway, taking on Joe O'Connor. Two players that know what it's like to get through to a Pro Series final. Of course, Stevie has won plenty of titles with Ultimate Pool. Joe just came up short in his Pro Series final, but we don't get to see too much of Joe, but always impresses when he does play. Obviously committed to the snooker world. But he's going to have to sit and watch it in the opening frame as Stevie has the first chance. As Nick Finn and Simon Webb with you on commentary for this one.
Good afternoon. Some good action so far, some good games. I watched some of the last one, and the Tony and Jamie were mentioning that it's a whole different complexion. We saw some sublime pool. A lot of mistake-free pool in the first event, and this one seems to be littered with errors. But you expect the standard to go up a little bit here. Stevie and Joe, a couple of great players in their own right. And,
well, when we saw Stevie play in event 5, he took on Dave Gilbert in the first round. So he's drawn 2 snooker players in the first round of both events this weekend. And he played brilliantly. He played just a really high-quality match. Took everything. He was flawless. I thought I was so impressed. Looked like Stevie Dempsey playing at his best. And went into the next match against Arfan Dad and ended up coming up short in a deciding frame. I didn't get to see it, so I don't know whether the level dropped or whether it was just a really high-quality affair that Arfan won. But I thought when Stevie was beating Dave, I thought he could be tracking here for another title.
really is good to see Joe coming back to play some of the pool events. Obviously it's where he started his career.
Yeah, and couldn't play in event 5 because of snooker commitments. So rushed up here to get ready for event 6. Good first shot to open up one on the top left. Now needs a good angle to get across.
Yeah, not an absolute gimme, but he should be okay. If he lands on the one to middle, just to the right hand side of bulk, and lands on it fairly straight, you can just drop him behind the other red, leave it fairly straight. Should be able to get down on the 8. Stun across, and it's okay, but he may have to cannon the red now. I'm not sure. He wanted to be straighter than this. He could have just dropped it in and held, but now it looks like he's got a bit too much angle and may just have to stun up into the red. Should still be okay. Just needs to judge the cannon, if indeed. Well, he could just hold. A bit closer to his work. Some players may have elected just to stun up and play the cannon. There wasn't a lot that could have gone wrong with the cannon if you just cannon it gently.
If he was straighter though, it'd be a bit easier. He has to really nip this so that the keyboard doesn't come too far across the table.
Yeah.
Slight grimace as he looked at the angle he left himself more than being close to his work.
It's okay. I mean, he's left a thin 8 ball, but you absolutely fancy him to get. Just probably needs to play it with a trace aside. The middle pocket is kind of on the line of the natural line for the cue ball, so you can see him just playing it with a little bit of. Well, he's missed it. That's a very unusual miss.
Quite a long way away as well. Very surprising.
He hit that way thicker than he meant to. You can see him just playing with the trace of left-hand side as well, just to make sure that cue ball didn't go anywhere near the middle pocket. And he's really let Dempsey off here.
Yeah, and that side probably pushed in as well. And that's, first frame on this table coming straight off a snooker table. It's going to be tricky, and that may well be the reason for the miss there. But Stevie Dempsey will be buoyed by that. Very good temperament Joe has. Very seldom shows any emotion out there. He will be annoyed inside. It'd be nice to start with a good finish, but in the end it ends up being Stevie Dempsey winning the opening frame. Off a Stevie Dempsey break.
He's using a wide break. Not sure if it's going to be the cut or whether it's going to be. Yeah, it looks like he's aiming for the cut rather than the front ball.
Yeah.
A lot of the players are playing from wide now, aren't they? And still targeting the cue ball. Seen Neil Rayburn do it. Declan Brennan plays it.
I don't think I've seen Joe with ultimate pool go front ball at all. I think he's just been solely on the cut break, and it's worked for him. I really do think the cut break's a good break for a classical snooker action as well, because you're just playing a firm sort of shot into the second ball down, touch of stun or screw, depending on how you're hitting it, but essentially just into the side pocket, its side cushion rather, and you don't have to kind of reach back for extreme power or change anything. It's a beautiful layout he's given himself. Opportunity just to forget about what happened in the previous frame and move on.
Just going straight down to move the yellow that's over the pocket, recognising that he needs to open that pocket for the other ball. That's great. Maybe would have liked an extra half a roll just to be slightly off straight, just to drift up for the other yellow into the middle. I think he's just the wrong angle now, so may have to play these both into the same pocket. Oh no, just enough there to be able to top it through. Oh no. Dear me, Joe.
Wow, I'm shocked by that. Let's have another look. Is it always on the jaw, or does it just pull a little bit here?
It's always there, I think. I just wonder if he was playing it to the left-hand side of the pocket just because he was a little bit straight.
Yeah, maybe just picking the pocket and just did it too much.
Yeah.
It's two surprising shots rather for Joe.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, as a snooker player, they're not difficult shots. Absolutely expect him to nail both of the ones that he's missed, especially that one. It's just I think he was probably just trying to play it towards the left-hand side of the pocket and overcooked it slightly. You could see on the slow-mo there was no kick there whatsoever. Just trying to pinch that tiny bit to keep the cue ball straighter. So Stevie targeting that tough ball at the right-hand side cushion. These are about as awkward as you get. It's a horrible place to have to play a ball from when they're just above the middle pocket. But he's landed perfectly on it. Nothing to do really with the cue ball, just a little stun shot. And pulls it back a few inches. Work done now in this frame. A shot running around two cushions. Letting his arm go. Just looking again now to see if that red passes the yellow. It does make life easier if it does. Still shouldn't be a problem. If it doesn't, you can just leave an angle and screw across the face of it. Suggests to me that it probably does. He's having another look now.
Doesn't look like it to us, but Plenty of room to him.
Yeah. Right behind it as well, so he can just play it towards the right knuckle if he needs to. Yeah. Oh, he's done exactly the same thing.
If it's tight, is there any reason to, just play across the other way?
I was absolutely with you. I mean, he had the right angle there as well, just to nip it across the left-hand side of the table, and then it's unmissable. I mean, he's even left the cue ball on the cushion. I mean, it's an 8 ball you fancy him to get, but I mean, that could have been easier.
Joe's looking at the yellow and red, but for me, I'd play the other yellow and just. Yeah, now he's looking at it, so he's looking at where does he leave the cue ball, because even if Stevie gets out and hits the red, he's not going to pot it. It's not enough of it showing.
Yeah. So forces him to move it. Absolutely the right thing to do. Just wondered for a second if that yellow ball was going to come back and play games and just maybe kick the cue ball in. Always risk it when you play a shot like that, but it was absolutely fine.
The one danger that Joe needs to be careful for in terms of what could happen here is this: Stevie could just graze the red and maybe weld him in behind it. Be a brilliant shot to do that. And he hasn't quite. Oh, he needs to be able to see the yellow in the open. It looks like he can.
Yeah.
He's just going to bend it to make sure. The main camera, it looks like the yellow is in the way.
Yeah, I think the bend was just to keep it on that side of the table. I don't think he could see the left-hand side of the ball. Didn't want the cue ball coming across the right-hand side.
Same applies here, though, for Stevie. He's a very good chance to put Joe in trouble.
That's yellow. Oh, I thought that was going to be yellow first.
And now there's a little bit more red showing. And now it could be a little bit trickier here for Joe to get the safe. And even if he does, he could well leave the one cushion and Stevie could actually make it off the one. So I'd still have Joe as just a marginal favourite here, but Stevie absolutely coming back into it. Oh no, if he's got to elevate the cue this much, it's really tough. That's a good shot.
That is a good shot, yeah. Very nice.
Really good. The jaw helped, but he was going to be good anyway. And has the yellow stopped the line that Stevie needs as well? I think if he goes above the yellow, he's going to slide and hit the 8 ball. If he goes below it, I don't think he gets enough slide. I think the centre pockets and the yellow are causing him issues here. There's no natural, and he's having to arc this. Danger, but I think Joe has got enough here to play the loss of turn and put the cue ball underneath the yellow at the bottom of the table. And even if he did leave sight of the 8 ball, it's a worldie from Stevie to punish him. I think I'd leave that yellow. Yeah,
I would too.
I wouldn't play it from here.
No, why is he playing it from this distance?
He's trying to make both. That's why. He really wanted to get through the ball, but that's actually made it worse for him than better, because now he's got to have tough safety or a tough pot. Interesting decision, that one from Joe. And a beautiful pot.
Nice pot. That's great recovery. He's missed a couple already that he would have expected to get, so that would be in his mind. So that was a really good pot. Yeah, good finish.
Yeah, very slow start to the match, but very interesting start to the match. I feel like it could have been 2-0 either way, but it ends up being 1-1. But just about 14 minutes of play
to get us underway. Makes a red. Pretty much every ball in the top half of the table. The 8 didn't move.
It didn't, did it?
It did not move.
It did not move at all.
Every ball has gone to the top half of the table. One went in the pocket, and the 8 just stayed exactly where it is. That's amazing. very rare you see something like that.
It really is. And it makes it congested and tight.
Yeah.
There's one awkward red there. Really awkward red. Just wonder, that red probably plays off the yellow. The yellow's far enough away from the cushion. I think it's actually a fairly comfortable shot, which makes the red's not too bad at all. He doesn't actually have to move the problem ball.
So the red that's on the right hand side will pop off the yellow to top right. That was always the plan. There he goes, just looking at it now.
I think it's such a comfortable shot for him that he's left it till last.
Yeah.
I thought the shot was on from the start, but it was always going to be maybe play it earlier and use the 2 reds he's just played as the last couple. I suppose the benefit of getting rid of those 2 reds is that when he plays this shot here, the yellow can't get in the way at all, because he was going to inject a little bit of pace just to screw back to be on 1. So now he's screwing back for the 8 ball. Doesn't matter where the yellow goes.
Very tidy finish. Didn't seem to make a great contact with those, and just didn't get that burst that you normally see with the cut break. Lot of congestion though. Reds look okay, but there's a couple of problems there. So the red is kind of nearest this cushion. I think it may just pass the yellow to the bottom left. It's going to help if it does.
I think all the reds go here.
Yeah.
I think the yellow in the triangle area passes to bottom right, if not maybe graze it off the yellow. But you can see on the over.
It's just the order you take it, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
you need to take the one that's kind of in the bottom as you look at the table now. It's just at the bottom of those 3 yellows on the right hand side.
Yeah.
You've got that one, which is a bit awkward to get on. The reds in the way above, so you need to kind of choose which path you take, whether you try and come down onto top of the 2 yellows and take one to middle first. Just a little bit tricky. Interesting to see how he goes about them.
If there's plenty of room to the red bottom left, you could drop this in and cut that in half ball, and if you caught the bottom of the 3 yellows together full ball, you'd be perfect, because you'd be on choice of all 3 reds. And he's coming down the table first.
Now he could probably just screw straight back into the bottom of the 3 yellows and be on that red to bottom right. Oh, doesn't want to be in the gap of them. No.
Yeah, that's no good.
No, he needed full ball contact on that yellow, and then could not fail to be on the red. He's just misjudged it and come to the top side of the red, and he has absolutely nothing. I mean, well, I say nothing. Maybe a very, very tricky long red. I mean, that's horrible though. I don't even think. Yeah, he's going to go cushion first. That shot's not on.
Even if he makes it, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go the way I was suggesting, because that ball did go past the bottom left quite comfortably, and it's more of a controllable shot when you're coming off the cushion, because you know the natural, and then you know whether you just have to tweak it one way or another. To play the shot he ended up playing, he had to be absolutely plumb on that ball to get it right.
You could always see it brewing, couldn't you? You just felt that there was some trouble. There was some trouble in store. So, again, the similar issue, that one problem yellow. He can try and move it now. I mean, he's got the yellow to middle. The natural angle is just come across and give it a nudge. He's going to be on the other yellow to middle, so can't fail to be on something. Just judge the cannon, not too hard. Yeah, a little nudge. That's fine.
Yeah, this is now good. Just needs to punch out anywhere near the triangle area is a good here, and then it's naturals all the way.
I would have liked to touch more angle. He's a little bit straight here, so he's going to be playing from fairly close to the cushion. But again, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. It just should have been slightly easier. If he's a few inches to the right-hand side, it's absolute formality. Should be anyway.
Right in between.
Yeah.
But you'll be okay. Right in between the two. He'll go in the middle, I think. Just favours it that way. And it's another frame that could have gone either way, but it goes Joe O'Connor's to make it all square.
Aaron Davis won't think so.
No. That break is really... It just... The power is all driven. It doesn't look like he's hitting the pack hard at all, but it's just all driven through. It's such a solid contact.
The hammer. Scott Gillespie's levelled things up against Dave Fernandez. Scott in desperate need of some form. I mean, what a player that man is. He just set the world alight a few years ago, and it's just not been going his way for a while. I'd love to see him make a deep run just for his own confidence. Now, suddenly, this is a little bit, well, he's okay. Looking at the overhead, he is just okay. I thought it was a little bit thinner than it was, but it's a bit fiddly. He needs to hold now on the red. If he doesn't hit it full ball, then again, it's another one that could just get away from him. Definitely didn't hit it full ball, but yeah, that is most certainly not ideal. Now he's only got the one to middle.
How do you get on the plant at the top?
Yeah, he needs to navigate this red, which will look like a football, and then on the way back up, you've got the three reds on the line. So it tries to come around the 8 ball. That doesn't work. Now he's got a treacherously thin cut. I mean, he has to play the plant. He may have the potting angle of the one to the left-hand side, but there's no way of getting back on the other one. So has to play the plant. But I mean, this is wafer thin. It's one of those. You play it with side. You can see him playing it with left-hand side, which helps the shot. No. It's almost cushion first. It's kind of like cushion first with left side, and it kicks the ball across. It's a shot you see quite often in 9 ball. It's amazing how much, you see the Chris Melling play that shot sometimes, middle to middle, and cut the ball across the row. It's cushion first.
Yeah, it's a tough shot to control. You can see he just caught it a touch thin on the cushion first, but he'll be disappointed not to get out. There's a couple of frames on the trot where Stevie's had first chance, and hasn't been able to get out.
The trouble is with that shot, it's difficult to judge because you're playing at the left-hand side, so that means over that distance you know the cue ball's going to curve, it's going to bend towards the object. So then you have to judge the bend as well. Tough.
Prime position then for Joe to get himself in front. This one feels like it's really building. It's because we've ticked into the second half just in the final couple of seconds there. We've only had 5 frames in 25 minutes, and we haven't had a single match yet this weekend on the TV table that hasn't finished. And the match clock hasn't been involved in terms of determining the, someone's always got to 7.
Cut break again and mix a ball. Mix a yellow. Probably go reds. I think it's one of those you could probably make a case for either. I think every ball on the table has a pocket.
Yeah, it's a layout you'd be very happy with. Take this off every break.
Reds are a bit of a better pattern. They kind of link with each other quite nicely. Whereas the yellows have got all the reds between them. You've got them at the top and the bottom of the table, but all the reds are kind of in a row. No work to do really. Just keeping control of the cue ball.
Well, just thought that last shot just maybe wasn't quite where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
He was always going to be on a ball, but did he want to be on that ball? Because now all of a sudden you've got the 2 in the bottom half that aren't brilliant to the 2 in the top half. Sort of leaving the one below the right centre pocket, which is awkward.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely cannot leave that ball until last because there's no way of getting on the 8 ball. So, if he's got an angle here, he needs to screw down.
Well, if he's straight, he can come back for it. No, he's going to have to leave it till last. Yeah, it's not too bad if it gets to the right-hand side of it, drop it in, it floats up into the 0K. But when he came to the table, there's no way this was his last ball.
Yeah, true enough. If you do get to the right-hand side, then you're absolutely right, you can.
That's fine.
I was thinking the yellows were a bit in the way, but actually there is a path there, isn't there?
You could go all the way to the top of the table or drop it in dead weight.
Yeah.
The natural line looks like it's going between the 2 yellows.
Yeah. Nice.
Such a good layout that you can kind of debate which way round to go about them, but go about that one a million different ways, and the outcome would be the same. 6,000 ranking points for a title. So just essentially over 3 titles ahead of second place, and he's a year ahead of 5th place. He's got double the ranking points of anyone from 5 downwards.
The one thing that I found astonishing yesterday was I asked the question in the group chat, how many finals has Tom lost? And the answer, finals on Ultimate Pool, I hasten to add, the answer is 1.
Yeah.
That is
some record in finals, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. I mean,
that was his first one as well. It's worth pointing out. Pro Cup against Jordan Shepherd.
Yeah.
What year would that been? 2022.
22, yeah.
And he's won 10 straight finals with Ultimate Pool. He is tracking for an 11th as well. I say tracking, he's in the last 32. Let's not get too carried away, but he remains the favourite. He's got Liam White in about an hour and 45 minutes. We won't be watching that though on the main table. We'll be focusing on, we are going to the last 32 after this match, but our 2 matches we'll be seeing Luke Gilbert versus Sean Chipperfield, which promises to be a very quick one, and then we'll see Chris Melling taking on Chris Day.
Amy Beauchamp is now on the hill against Aaron Davis, 6-3 ahead. There is an upset on the cards. I mean, you say an upset. I say an upset. But, Amy is such a great player in her own right. Carl Sutton's just beaten Josh Jahaz, 7-3. Shane Thompson's edged ahead against Christy Colefield again, 5-4. Jake McCartney on the hill against Clayton Custody, 6-3. He's made that ball zip. It's not come quite as high as he'd like. He's got hampered cueing on the next shot, and he's going to be cannoning the red, so he has to judge the cannon as well. A lot can go wrong with this shot, but it comes out absolutely plumb. Well judged cannon. I mean, he was always just trusting to luck a little bit, because on another day, on a bad day, the yellow comes across the face. Joe would have been hopeful to get to the table there, but Dempsey slams the door in his face and pulls back with this 8-ball within 1 frame. Joe O'Connor with a break of serve though still has the advantage. He'll break in the next frame. If you're ever interested in keeping up to date with the live scores, then you can find them at Ultimate Pool, on the Ultimate Pool app or on the Ultimate Pool website. On the live scoring page, there's a live feed from every single table, and the scores are updated at tableside, so you get a live view of the whole arena essentially. Reds are pretty good. The 8-ball's a mess, but he's got the red adjacent to the middle pocket, which is a natural ball just to kick that 8-ball up the table. Quite a big angle here. I'd like to have been straighter just to kill the cue ball. So he's going to have to feather this in dead weight unless he... Well, not sure if he played for a kick there or whether he played that line. Whatever it was, it's worked in his favour, because he now has one of the tricky balls that was it was tricky to get position on, which is this one. It's actually come out plumb. He's on the one to the far right hand side, which is natural to get on the one at the bottom of the table, and then he's got the one above the 2 yellows to middle. So this worked. He's a little bit low on this. He needs to stay on the low side of the red that's above the 2 yellows, because he needs to go up table next. Doesn't really want to leave that developing shot on the 8-ball to his last shot. So he needs to hold the cue ball on the right line here.
Pinch the pocket to do that.
It's not the ideal angle.
No, he's still not held it enough, has he?
No. He's going to have to play with a bit of extra pace and chop it through his side off the cushion. You can see him loading it up with left hand side. Oh, he rattled it in. That's nice. Just be careful, you don't want the 8-ball going so far that it blocks the pocket for the red.
Neil and Hitton watching on. Both players already eliminated from event 6.
Hard, but not too hard. Well, hard enough to move the 8-ball. Ooh, that's perfect. Just thought for a second it might just tuck in behind the red, but it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, definitely could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Worked out beautifully for him, though.
Re-establishes a 2-frame lead. Joe O'Connor looking good. It's 5-3 ahead.
Cue ball straight in. What a moment here for Joe O'Connor to really separate, break the back of this match, because look at this layout. It's continuing to not happen here for Stevie. Could be another early exit for the number 2 seed. Yellow just tracked a little bit too far down the table for comfort here. A little bit of hope for Stevie and a bit of work for Joe.
Just going back to the live scoring, there's also, for those of you who use it regularly, there is a really cool feature on it where you can press on a player's name and you'll see their the amount of matches they've played, the amount of frames they've played, their win to loss to draw ratio. It's pretty cool just to have a look at their ratio. It'd be interesting to see the player who's got the best win rate across the whole of the. And I just clicked on Champs, for example. She's got a 75% match win rate.
That's pretty high.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just wonder if there's many higher.
The statistic, I think she only lost 1 match last year on the women's series that wasn't via 6-red shootout. I think she only lost 3 matches all year, and 2 of them were via 6-red shootout. Joe got that last one wrong. He was trying to get low on the yellow at the bottom of the table so that he could play a delicate little cannon and hold on the yellow he's playing now, but to the opposite corner. So he's having to reroute, and the reroute is a double. I think the cue ball's okay. It will be close to the yellow, though. Yeah, that's what he's looking at. In fact, the way he's looking here, he won't be able to go on the left-hand side of it. This isn't guaranteed. I mean, the double's not too bad, but it's the cue ball to keep an eye on here. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Played it with side and a little bit of screw just to get it back across. A little flick on the yellow, but it's a great shot. You can see the 8-ball goes. Joe O'Connor is on the hill.
One more good break could wrap the match.
Yeah, well, he made a ball, and the Reds, I think, are okay. I mean, it's a little bit fiddly. He's got the opener to the bottom right now if he wants to remove one of the awkward balls.
I think yellows are better. Yeah, so does
Joe.
Joe.
You're right, yeah.
The yellows all go without this. The 2 reds together that are awkward.
Yeah.
I know he was on the one on the cushioning once that's out the way, but the yellows, he just has to connect them together.
Yeah.
Something he's been doing very well in this match.
Yeah, good shout. having missed a couple of balls early in the match, he seems to have put that behind himself really well. He's potting everything now, right in the middle of the pocket. I say that, and he's got a tricky pot here. Please don't miss it.
Yeah, the cue ball's the problem as well into the red.
Yeah.
Can he control the cue ball, land on something? Well, yes and yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, that's opened it up for him. That should be all the hard work done.
Christophe Lambert and beneath watching on. Nod of approval from Christophe. He's got Ryan Fleming in about an hour and a half's time in the last 32. Disappointing event 5 for Christophe.
Shane Thompson's beaten Christy Caulfield. Shane was talking himself out of that match before it even started, saying he's not been practicing, and
he's one of the players that's struggling because he's trying to commit to Chinese and English, and I don't think it's particularly working for Shane Thompson.
Aaron Davies has pulled back another frame, 6-5. Amy's still to get across the line there.
Needs angle hit. I think he's okay. The body language is telling me there's enough there that he can just punch out into the gap.
Yeah.
Actually, he might just be able to run on the narrow as well if he wants to. Yeah, that's what he's done. There was just enough room. And 2 pots away for Joe.
It's been a really good performance from Joe O'Connor.
Job done for Joe O'Connor. Knocks out the number 2 seed. A disappointing tournament once again for Stevie Dempsey. And he'll have to move on to the World Championships with no success in the Pro Series. But Joe O'Connor, he moves on. He's into the last 32.